This is Phil Bell from Freedomworks on the Daily Mojo with your morning update. Let's take a trip to California. Or maybe let's not take a trip to California because it's getting pretty crazy out there. You see, the latest comes from State Senator Scott Wiener, and you might remember Scott Wiener as being the guy who back in 2017 introduced legislation to make it less of a crime to intentionally spread AIDS from one person to another. Today, he's decided to take on drivers, and he has introduced a bill that would require governors on cars to make sure they can't go more than 10 miles over the speed limit. Now, I know there's a lot of you out there who say, look, I don't really want people driving that fast anyway. However, I want you to think about the implications of this. If the government can now introduce governors that will in all likelihood be electronic, that can control how fast you can drive, how long will it be before they control where you can drive or even when you can drive? It's part of a steady effort to use the guise of safety to take away more of our freedom. Now, of course, it wasn't that long ago when the government used every guise of safety to take away a lot of our freedom during the COVID era. And now they're trying yet again. And remember, we can't just say, oh, well, it's crazy California and ignore it, because if California does it, you will see it happen in other states. And because California is such a large auto market, that means the major automakers will include these devices everywhere, and therefore you will be subject to it no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter where you live, and no matter what you tell your legislators. It is up to all of us to make sure this sort of crazy does not happen. And therefore, we as patriots cannot ignore any part of the country. I don't care if it's California, Massachusetts, New Jersey, or otherwise. We must be vigilant against violation of our freedoms, liberties, and especially our rights. And while it may not be a right to drive 10 miles per hour over the speed limit, it is our right to move about the country. And we must make sure that no one takes any step that could even begin to infringe on that right. And the first way you can do that is by going over to freedomworks.org and signing up to become a member of our freedom teams. There we will teach you to understand how to determine when threats will be coming down the turnpike and at what speed. We'll see you later this week, and I hope you have a great day.
Phil Bell's Morning Update is only on the DailyMojo.com.